So you're looking at India's brand new Namo Bharat high-speed train. But believe me, we're not just here to talk about a faster way to get to work. This is about something much, much bigger. We're talking about a blueprint for India's future cities and how this country is literally planning to build its way into becoming a next-generation economic powerhouse.
All right, to really grasp the sheer scale of what's happening here, let's start with a kind of wild question. What if India is actually twice as urban as the official numbers tell us? Now, this isn't just some random statistic to throw around. The answer to this question, well, it gets right to the heart of why a project like the Namo Bharat isn't just a nice to have, but absolutely critical right now.
Okay, so to connect those dots, we've got to zoom way out for a second. Because, you see, you can't really understand this one train line without understanding the massive national strategy it fits into. And at the center of that strategy is one core idea: using infrastructure as the main engine to drive economic growth.
And when I say massive, I mean staggering. Just look at the investment. Public spending on infrastructure has just exploded, jumping by almost 89% in just a handful of years. This is not your typical run-of-the-mill government budget. No, this is a huge strategic bet that the country can literally build its way to a much stronger economy.
So why make a bet that big? Well, it all comes down to something called the multiplier effect. And it's pretty powerful. The idea is that for every single rupee you put into infrastructure, you get back 2.5 to 3.5 times that in GDP growth. It's an investment that basically pays for itself over and over again, sending these powerful ripples through the whole economy.
And you know, this isn't just about throwing money at random projects, like building a road here and a railway there. The whole approach has changed. There's been a fundamental shift. Now, through this huge national master plan called PM Gati Shakti, the goal is to create a fully integrated network of networks. The whole point is to make every piece of the puzzle fit together, making the entire system way smarter and a whole lot more efficient. Okay, so we've seen the big national picture. Now let's zoom right back in to the very heart of the issue, India's cities. Because this is where things get really interesting. You've got this paradox, right? On one hand, you have massive, explosive growth, and on the other, you have these huge constraints holding it back. And that's the exact challenge this new infrastructure is built to solve.
You know, sometimes a picture tells the story better than any spreadsheet ever could. Just look at this. This is Delhi seen from space at night. On the left, that's 2012. On the right, 2023. You can literally see the city sprawling outwards, spreading like a web of light. This is what that explosive, often unmanaged urban growth actually looks like on the ground. And it's happening all across India.
So what's pumping the brakes on all this potential? There's this one quote that just nails it. Global cities compete, Indian cities comply. Think about that for a second. The root of the problem is what's called a governance deficit. Basically, the power to make decisions is so spread out and fragmented that cities can't really control their own destiny. They end up just complying with rules from above, instead of getting out there and truly competing on the world stage.
And this whole situation creates a problem known as dead capital. Here's how it works. You've got these restrictive rules, like strict limits on how high you can build. So what happens? Cities can't grow up, so they're forced to grow out. They just sprawl sideways. And that sprawl makes everything, I'm talking water pipes, roads, electricity, way more expensive and super inefficient. It essentially locks up the real value of the land and, you guessed it, creates a massive headache when it comes to getting around.
And that is exactly where the Namo Bharat train enters the story. It wasn't just designed to be fast. It was conceived as a direct answer to this whole paradox of sprawl and inefficiency. It's a high-speed solution tailor-made for the very problems we've just been talking about.
So what exactly is an RRTS anyway? Well, it's basically a whole new type of train for India. The best way to think of it is like a hybrid. It's got the speed that's way faster than a metro, but the frequency of a commuter train that comes all the time. The key idea here is that it's not just about moving people inside one city. It's designed to connect an entire economic region, to help growth pop up in new places instead of just piling everyone into one super congested downtown core. And this first line, the Delhi-Meerut corridor, is seriously impressive. We're talking 82 kilometers connecting Delhi, Ghaziabad, and Meerut. And the speed? It's designed to hit 180 kilometers per hour. Think about what that means. A trip that could easily take you 2, maybe 3 hours in traffic is now done in under an hour. That's not just a small improvement. That is a complete game changer. It fundamentally transforms the relationship between time and distance for millions of people.
All right, let's zoom back out one last time. Because as you can probably guess, the real impact here goes way beyond just a faster commute. A project like this creates a powerful ripple effect that literally starts to reshape the entire region.
Just look at this number, 6,300 crore rupees. That's how much money was saved. How? Well, it was pure genius, really. They designed the main RRTS tracks so that the local Meerut Metro could run on them too. One set of infrastructure, two services. That is a perfect example of that network of networks idea we talked about earlier. It's all about making public money work smarter, not just harder.
The RRTS is also a huge catalyst for something called transit-oriented development, or TOD. The logic is actually super simple and really powerful. Step 1, you build the fast train line. Step 2, around each station you change the rules to allow for taller buildings with a mix of apartments, offices, and shops. What you get are brand new, compact, walkable city centers. It's how you turn an investment in moving people into a massive payoff and how productive the whole region can be.
So what does all this actually mean for a regular person? Well, it means jobs, lots of them. It basically connects different job markets together. All of a sudden, if you live in a city like Meerut, something like 760,000 jobs are now within a 1-hour commute. That's incredible. It opens up a world of new opportunities without forcing families to uproot and move. It literally redraws the economic map of the region.
And it's not all just about economics. There are some really important social benefits too. This project made a very conscious effort to bring women into the workforce. Get this, more than 35% of the train operators and station controllers are women. That's a huge deal, and it's setting a whole new standard for what an inclusive workforce can look like in India's transport sector.
And then, of course, you just have the pure, simple math of it. It's all about efficiency. This chart says it all. Look at how many people you can move down a single corridor in 1 hour. A high-speed train, like the RRTS, we're talking tens of thousands. A lane full of cars? A few thousand at best. It just shows you, when it comes to tackling traffic and congestion in a sustainable way, there's really no contest. Mass transit wins, hands down.
So, you see how all these pieces, the speed, the smart planning, the new urban centers, all of it connects back to that one grand vision, creating a model for building globally competitive mega regions. These are the engines that are meant to power India's growth for the next 100 years.
And it's so important to remember that the Delhi-Meerut line is not just a one-and-done project. Not at all. It's the template. It's the pilot. Right now, nearly 2,900 kilometers of similar high-speed corridors are being planned for other huge economic hubs. Think Bangalore, Chennai, Hyderabad. This isn't just an idea. It's a scalable national plan that's already in motion.
So in the end, this whole network of networks thing, it's about so much more than just trains and tracks. It's the actual physical foundation being laid for India's biggest national ambitions. We're talking about the goal of becoming a developed nation, Viksit Bharat by 2047, and beyond that, becoming strategically indispensable on the world stage. This is how you build that future, literally from the ground up. Which brings us to the big final question. We've seen the strategy, we've seen the incredible engineering, we've seen the grand vision, but can this model, this network of networks, really be the key that unlocks all that massive economic potential that's currently trapped inside India's sprawling, constrained cities? That right there, well, that's the multi-trillion-dollar question.